It's officially time to be worried, and that's just how it goes when you're a Nintendo fan. You never expect what's coming next, and sometimes you can't expect anything at all. What's going on, guys and girls? It's Zach from SwitchForce, and breaking internet news has thrown the Nintendo internet world into shambles because we thought we had a plan, we thought we had a course of events, everything was lining up, and Summer Game Fest just took a sledgehammer straight to it with their announcements, and new details from insiders are concerning. Okay, so let's break this down. Let me know what you predict happens because I'm worried. I'm worried, and I wasn't worried like an hour ago, but now I'm really concerned because Nintendo has announced nothing. But we had some interesting events that were all lining up to next week, and two of those have now been unveiled completely. Neon White is an awesome Switch exclusive that is coming next week. It showed up at Summer Game Fest, and it was announced for June 16th. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is an awesome game coming to Switch, shown off previously at a Nintendo presentation, also at Summer Game Fest, announced for June 16th. Now, we were thinking, leaks were pointing towards June 15th being the direct because these games would shadow drop there. But they're not dropping on June 15th, they're coming June 16th. So maybe there's a chance that the direct is just any day next week anyways. Or maybe there's not a direct at all. What if Nintendo just isn't having it? What if they are being the weirdest one in the room? It's not unlike them. They've been better this generation, but boy oh boy do they have a history of just playing the wild card and saying, huzzah, we do what we want. Now, they definitely don't always do what we want, and we want a direct. And I do have good news on that front, and it comes from Nate Drake. He's a reliable insider, someone we've quoted on this show and this channel for years now, and I think he has one of the highest, recommended followings in Nintendo insider space. He's smart, he's cautious, and he's right. Now, in response to all of this hullabaloo about what the heck we thought those were shadow drops from the direct, he says the direct isn't on the 14th. Practice patience. Now, this is very interesting to me because I didn't think the 14th was really ever the date. I thought it was the 15th based on the leaks and the releases, but he says it's not the 14th. So it's not the 14th. I guess it could still be the 15th, maybe the 16th, but he then says practice patience. Do you practice patience for something that's less than a week away? I'm not so sure. So Neon White and TMNT could still tie into a direct next week. That is on the table, but it's no longer as stupidly sure as it seemed this morning. And Nate Drake's comment of practice patience has a lot of people wondering if this might be later in the month. Nintendo could just say, hey, there's no E3. Why do we have to go this week? Maybe we want to give Mario Strikers some space. Maybe we want to get closer to Fire Emblem. I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they're just too tired. Maybe it's hot over there. I don't know. But there is a chance that this direct is a random day. Now, Nate Drake does say it still is June. He says yes to a question about is it still June, and I think that makes a lot of sense. But I'm so worried now because we had a course, and with Nintendo not making a peep, you just always feel that gnaw at the back of your head. It's just whispering, maybe there's no direct. They're not forced to. These Nintendo goons, they won't just make it easy on us. I love them, but sometimes it's hard to love them because you don't know. Now, they do have investor calls at the end of the month, and so there's no chance that they have a direct right around that time. They'd want to get out ahead of it. So some people are saying now 3rd, 4th week of June, around the 23rd. I don't know. There still is a chance. Look, next week there's still a chance. Wednesday or Thursday are still fair game. Either A, Neon White and TMNT have nothing to do with the direct, so it doesn't matter. Or B, maybe it is the 16th. And maybe since Neon White is a Switch console exclusive, it's weird that the announcement is here, but they could just say, hey, comes out later today, it fits a direct. Maybe they didn't have a real stealth shadow drop, so they have this sort of 5 days ahead of time stealth drop thing. I don't know. It still could tie in because those are still two big releases on Nintendo Switch. Or it could be Wednesday and they say out tomorrow. I don't know. There is a chance, but there's also a chance it's any other day. It's clearly uncharted territory because this is a no E3 year, but it's a sort of E3 year. It's not like 2020 where everybody was just holy crap, how do we even hold on? And they had no direct. So I still firmly, strongly believe there will be a direct soon. There's too much out there. And you can trust Nate Drake now. You can trust what I've heard. It still sounds like it's happening, but the creeping worry is there. And Nintendo, like, spreading themselves far from these other presentations is a bit odd. They play to the beat of their own drum. They know they have their own fans. I mean, clearly, Summer Game Fest don't really care too much about Switch. There was a Nintendo ad. I think there was actually two, a Strikers ad and just like a system ad for upcoming games. But like everybody else kind of operates as if Nintendo doesn't exist sometimes. And maybe they take that to heart. And they're like, you know what? We don't have to play by your rules. I also want to mention that the final week of June is a possibility because Fire Emblem Three Hopes is out on Friday, June 24th. So people thinking like the 23rd, that's right up against Fire Emblem. And Nintendo has had no problem showing a direct before a summer launch. That's happened before plenty of times when E3 was a thing. But maybe they do shift it to the last week. Like I said, they do have like investor stuff and shareholder stuff to worry about. But we don't know. We don't know. Nintendo, please tell us. This is now where I'm begging you to get out ahead. Let us know. It's been this way with everything you've ever done. Whether it's Switch Online, games, cancellations, delays, release dates, whatever. When you give us a heads up, it always works out better. Remember when they started letting us know the next game coming to Switch Online? And that literally changed the entire perception of that service. Knowing we'd have an N64 game every month to look forward to, it changed the entire perception and value of that service because we knew stuff was coming. You weren't just left in a lurch. Okay, you actually heard about their plans. So I'd love for them to let us know. I still think, though, they will just do a 2-day ahead of time, 48-hour window. And it still could be next week. And I'll keep my ear to the ground, but it also could be the next week. It also could be the next week. June seems locked in, but when this happens and what form it takes, and Nintendo being weird and staying away from Summer Game Fest and maybe far off from even Xbox Bethesda Showcase and Devolver and all that, Neon White and TMNT, at least we have that next week. Okay, I think both those games are going to be sweet. I'm super looking forward to both. So you at least have some Nintendo goodness next week, and maybe we'll have all of it. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you interpret Nate Drake's practice patience as like, hey, just chill for a sec, it's going to be fine. Or if it's like practice patience, you're going to be waiting a few weeks, don't flip out next week. But let me tell you, the internet will flip out next week if there's no direct. It will break loose into a bedlam of Nintendo doesn't have a show, and gosh, yikes. It's always something with Nintendo, right? It's always a funny situation. They always do it weird, and only them. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. I feel like good about a direct, but worried about when it is. And it's just strange in general because we thought we had it all figured out, but we don't. So stay tuned, hang in there, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, love you guys lots. SwitchForce out.